Good evening, everyone online. Let us start our practice this evening of Medicine Buddha. Before we do the actual Medicine Buddha, we'll do a short meditation to arrive here. Those who are at Tushita and those who are joining from home, just coming in the present moment for this practice, leaving our worries outside. Let us start by just taking a few deep breaths, feeling the cushion or the chair we're sitting on, inhaling deeply, trying to refresh our attention. And as we exhale, trying to completely relax. Then let us also do a few minutes of shamatha practice, shamatha or calm abiding, or more specifically single-pointed concentration. I'll just quickly remind you of the instructions because I see new names here on Zoom. So for this practice there are 4 instructions. The first one is to look at our body posture. And ideally, like we are here at Tushita sitting on the floor, that's the best. If at home you are sitting on a chair, it's also perfectly fine. Just make sure you're not leaning against the support of the chair, not leaning forward either. If you're on the chair also, try to have both your feet flat on the floor. If the floor is too low, you can just place a cushion under your feet. Allow some space between your 2 legs. And if you're sitting on the floor, on a cushion like this, of course, the ideal best would be to sit in the full lotus posture, meaning, you have both your feet on top of the opposite leg. That might be a little bit challenging, so you can try half lotus, or you can sit simply cross-legged. You can also sit in Burmese style with one leg in front of the other. Whatever feels comfortable, a position that you can, maintain without feeling discomfort. Traditionally, we place our hands in the mudra of concentration, meaning you have your right hand on top of the left, 2 thumbs are slightly touching, and this mudra rests in our lap. Allowing some space between the arms and the body. The back is straight, the body is upright. You can imagine there is like a string pulling from the crown of your head, keeping your body upright. But at the same time, we are not, stiff. The body is upright, but the shoulders are loose, and even. You can easily turn like this from left to right. We are upright, but not uptight. And the neck is aligned in the continuation of the spine. You can very gently tilt the head forward, not too much. If we tilt too much downwards, then we tend to fall asleep. Too much upwards, we are distracted with so many thoughts. So we try to find a middle way, which is just in the continuation of the spine for the neck. Very slightly, gently tilted forward. You can place your tongue just behind your upper teeth towards the upper palate. This helps to reduce the production of saliva during the meditation. Finally, the eyes, we keep them slightly opened, allowing for some light to enter. This helps to keep us alert. And just, gazing in a space in front of us, about 45 degrees cast down, not actually paying attention to whatever appears in front of our eyes. It is not the eyes the eye consciousness that meditates, but the mental consciousness. So this is the second point, actually, the object of meditation, a mental object. If this practice is something relatively new for you, what I would suggest is to use the breathing sensation as an object of meditation. You can, for example, use the breathing sensation, the feeling, the sensation you have as you breathe in and out. You can, for example, use it at the entrance of the nostrils. Try to place all your focus, all your attention on the sensation as you breathe in and out. At the entrance of the nostrils, you can observe, for example, as you breathe in, there's like a cooling sensation there. As you breathe out, that air is a little bit warmer. Try to place all your attention on that sensation there, not the body part as such, like the nostrils, the entrance of the nostrils, but the sensation, the feeling. And try to remain completely focused on that breathing sensation. Now, the third thing you will see when we try to meditate like this, we tend to get distracted. And the two main ways we get distracted is, the first one is mental excitement. The second one is mental laxity. Mental excitement, basically we are distracted with thoughts. Mostly thinking about, things that happen in the past or things that will happen in the future. Something that happened earlier today, or our plans for later today. For example, an event that's going to happen or something. These thoughts, come and they distract us. We are not focused on the object of meditation anymore when we are, carried away with these thoughts. The second way, mental laxity, also called lethargy or dullness. And this might be the case for many of us if you had a long day, sitting like this in the evening, in a quiet room like this, looking at the breath coming down, then we might have, a tendency to sink, fall asleep or start daydreaming. And when this happens, we also lose our object of meditation, of course. So now the good news, the final point is that these distractions, we can counteract them. There are two antidotes that, this whole meditation, the point is training, becoming familiar with these two antidotes, which are introspection or alertness, and the second one is called mindfulness. Alertness or introspection, you can imagine it as kind of an agent in the background of your mind that is, monitoring. What is my mind doing? It is checking the mind. Is the mind meditating or is it distracted with excitement or laxity? And the moment this alertness, this introspection notices the mind is not meditating, is not focused on the object of meditation, then we make use of the second antidote, which is called mindfulness. And the role of mindfulness, you could also call it non-forgetfulness. Its role is to remember the object of meditation, to bring the mind back. Let's say it is distracted with thoughts. Introspection notices that the mind is distracted with thoughts, not focused on the object. Then we use mindfulness to bring the mind back. Leave the thoughts and come back to the object of meditation. And also making sure, not to forget the object anymore, to remain on the object. I always use the analogy, you can imagine if you have a pet dog at home and the dog runs away from home, introspection notices the dog is gone. Mindfulness brings the dog back home, and you can also, imagine like closing the door so that he doesn't leave anymore. It's a little bit similar to what we are trying to do with our mind. And before we do our medicine Buddha practice, let us try to remain focused on our object of meditation like this, single-pointedly, for about 5 minutes. gently come out of the meditation. Was anybody able to remain focused for 5 minutes without any distraction? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Tried very hard.
Tried very hard.
Yeah.
So what matters actually, is to use the antidotes, It doesn't matter if you're distracted. I mean, of course it matters if you're distracted, but what is important when we do this practice is to, familiarize ourselves with introspection and mindfulness. So that, especially, in this day and age, I find it very difficult not to concentrate. There are so many distractions all around. And so our mind is also thinking about all sorts of things. So, to go from our bad habit of, not controlling our mind and being distracted all the time to gaining control over our mind and developing our concentration takes practice. No? It requires to make the effort to familiarize ourselves with these two antidotes. So actually, the teachers, they recommend, if we can do every day, just a few minutes, when we begin with this practice. Like now we did 5 minutes, and perhaps you feel, it's a little bit short to do 5 minutes. So if you can, at the end of the 5 minutes, if you want to meditate more, so that's a good indication, In the future, you again, will want to do the practice. As a beginner, if we sit for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then we might feel exhausted, at the end. And then next time we see a meditation cushion like this, we have aversion, and then, we give up. So it is wise in the beginning to keep our sessions short and do more sessions. If after 5 minutes even you want to do more, maybe you can, stand up for a little bit, go boil some hot water, come back and do 5 minutes more. Or you can do a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes in the evening. And what matters is the regularity, doing it every day. And then gradually, you'll see perhaps at the moment you can focus for 5 seconds and then you think about something, or 5 seconds and then you fall asleep or you start daydreaming. Then you'll see, when you do it gradually every day, these 5 seconds will become 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, or 5 minutes like, like you here. Without distraction. And then, when we can, it is said that when we can achieve a concentration, a single pointed like this for 4 hours without any distraction and with a total, serviceability and pliancy of the body and mind, like 4 hours just go like that, then we have achieved what is called calm abiding, like a very refined level of concentration. Okay. So now that we are hopefully a little bit more focused, a little bit more concentrated, let us try to generate a good motivation for doing the Medicine Buddha practice. And I guess some of you are joined online to do the practice for our dear Tenzin Rangjola, or Sharip Pema. So let us, have that in our mind for this session, or any person who is going through difficulties, is going through sickness, or somebody who recently passed away. You can bring to mind, thinking we are doing this practice of Medicine Buddha for their benefit, for their minds to be at peace, for them to go through what they are going through with ease. So we can think that they are like the trigger for us, to come together this evening. Some of us here at Tushita and some on Zoom. What made us come tonight is, to benefit them. And let us even try to expand that intention, that motivation even further. trying to bring to mind not only the people we know are going through sickness, death, and obstacles, but also the people we don't know who are going through sickness, old age, death, obstacles, and so forth, difficulties. But not only that, let us try to bring to mind each and every sentient being let us try to have a very broad mind for this practice, wanting to benefit each and every single sentient being, not leaving even one single insect aside. Trying to bring to mind all humans, all animals, all suras, asuras, pretas, intermediate state beings, and so forth. Let us try to think that by my coming here this evening, or by my joining online for this practice, may this be of the greatest benefit to all sentient beings. Recognizing the situation they are in, trapped in the vicious prison of cyclic existence, samsara. Wishing for all sentient beings to be liberated from any kind of unpleasant experiences, any kind of pain, suffering, misery, sorrow. Let us try to open our hearts with compassion, not wanting anyone to suffer. Wishing for everyone to be liberated, free from taking rebirth again and again and again without any control. And in all these lives, having all sorts of experiences dictated by the past accumulated karmas, due to the afflictions, the disturbing emotions, the delusions that are all rooted into self-grasping ignorance. Let us wish for all beings to be liberated from that. Let us also try to take that wish further, a little bit more. Let us try to generate a sense of responsibility, recognizing our present opportunity, our present great fortune to be born as a human on a planet where the Buddha has appeared 2,500 years ago, and his teachings are still very much available to this day. There are many practitioners, many people who are supporting the practitioners and enabling for centers like this to exist. Not only that, we have all our, physical, mental capacities to study, learn, contemplate, meditate. We have an interest to do that. We recognize that there is a dissatisfaction in our lives, in our cyclic existence. We are looking for a deeper meaning than the worldly pleasures. We have so many freedoms, endowments, so many conditions that make our present human life so precious, so fortunate. Let us take a moment to recognize that this is so rare. You can see around us so many people, suffering from poverty, sickness, all sorts of problems. No time or no interest to look inwards, to look at the mind. You can think of all the animals, who are also too busy trying to survive, cannot think about the dharma. You can think of the devas who are too distracted in bliss. There is not even a second of interest to look at the mind, to look at their condition, just enjoying temporary pleasures. Then of course we can think of the pretas, for example, suffering so acute. One of these beings, there is an opportunity to look inwards, to eliminate, to purify the negative karmas and eliminate the disturbing emotions, the afflictions, the delusions. So recognizing that at the moment we are so fortunate, at the moment we are so lucky, this time it happened, we were born as a human with all these freedoms. Let us try to generate a sense of responsibility for all those beings who don't have this leisure at the moment. Let us generate the wish that I myself will free all sentient beings from suffering, from pain, from sorrow, from misery. Let us try to genuinely, take this responsibility taking action upon our compassion. Now, how can I free all sentient beings from suffering if, myself, I'm deluded? Myself apprehend everything as existing so inherently, truly, independently, objectively. So how can I guide beings? How can I help beings to see differently? If we look in the history of humanity, 2,500 years ago, there was a young prince, Prince Siddhartha, here in India, who showed, took the appearance of sitting under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya in present-day Bihar, repeatedly meditating on the middle way from the two extremes, free from the two extremes of ultimate existence and non-existence, seeing again and again in meditation how things actually exist, which is the direct antidote to our self-grasping ignorance, which is the source of all our problems. So by introducing the counterforce of that ignorance, Prince Siddhartha gradually, eradicated all the disturbing emotions from the root and became known as the Buddha, the fully awakened one. let us try to generate the wish to become just like the Buddha 2500 years ago, to eliminate all our mental defilements and achieving the state of full awakening and the state of omniscience, so that we can guide sentient beings perfectly, unmistakably, knowing their dispositions, how to guide them in the best way. Let us try to give rise to this wish in our hearts, wishing to become a fully awakened Buddha in order to benefit countless sentient beings, not even forgetting a single mosquito. And with this motivation in mind, let us start our Medicine Buddha practice. For those who are joining online, I will share the screen, and those who are here in person, the practice starts on page 7 in the practice Medicine Buddha. Let us visualize that about 4 inches above the crown of my head is a beautiful lotus flower. In the center of that lotus flower is a white moon disk. And seated on the moon disk is my root guru, the Dharmakaya essence of all the Buddhas, who for the purpose of this practice is taking this form, this appearance of Medicine Buddha. You can visualize him above the crown of your head, about 6 inches tall, his body made of light, beautiful, radiant blue light. His right hand is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations and rests on his right knee and holds the stem of the Arura plant between the thumb and the first finger. His left hand is in the mudra of concentration and holds a lapis lazuli bowl filled with nectar, healing medicine nectar. Medicine Buddha is seated in the full Vajra position, and he is wearing the 3 red-colored robes of a monk. He has all the signs and qualities of a Buddha. Try to visualize this as best as you can and try to sustain this visualization throughout the practice. And we can read together towards the middle of page 7, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that is without suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and hatred, holding some close and others distant. Especially for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will quickly, very quickly, attain the precious state of perfect and complete Buddhahood. For this reason, I will practice the yoga method of Guru Medicine Buddha. Now let us engage in the 7-limb practice, trying to sustain the visualization of Guru Medicine Buddha. And there are 6 sentences here. One of the sentences has 2 limbs. So at the end of every sentence, we'll pause for a few seconds and try to, contemplate and meditate on the meaning of each of the 7 limbs. I prostrate to Guru Medicine Buddha. So here, try to visualize as best as you can your body prostrating to Guru Medicine Buddha. Try to also visualize as many bodies as you can. You can try to imagine all your bodies of past lives, all your bodies of future lives. You can also include all sentient beings prostrating with you as if you were guiding them into this practice. The more bodies you can visualize, the greater the merit, the purification. And why do we prostrate? What is this, the symbol, the symbolization? Prostrating to Guru Medicine Buddha is just, we recognize that Guru Medicine Buddha, as we were discussing earlier, has made the, inner job, the inner work of purifying the mind, abandoning the defilements, the afflictions, the delusions, eliminated all of them from the root, eliminated the self-grasping ignorance, and also eliminated all the subtle mental veils and achieved a state of a fully awakened, omniscient Buddha. So prostrating, is recognizing and wishing to achieve, the same results ourselves. The second limb, each and every offering, including those actually performed and those mentally transformed, I present to you. So again, trying to visualize and to accumulate vast merit, extensive merits. We can imagine that all the offerings that are arranged here of, flowers, light, incense, snacks, water, and so forth, as well as all the offerings that are, arranged. You can imagine, for example, in Bodh Gaya, around the stupa, around the Bodhi tree, all the flowers, lights, incense, water bowls, and so forth that are arranged over there. You can think of the stupas in Nepal, Bodhanath, Swayambhu, Namo Buddha. You can think of all the, the great monasteries in South India, Serakand and Drepung, and so on and so forth. All the offerings that are arranged there, as well as in all the other, centers of the FPMT, Tushita being one of the 130 centers, services, projects around the world of the FPMT. All the offerings that are arranged there on the different altars. Let us imagine that we are transforming all these offerings in mountains, oceans, skies of blissful nectar, and offering to the countless Buddhas, numberless Buddhas receiving our offerings. Our offerings becoming numberless, our merits becoming numberless. The third limb, I confess all non-virtuous actions accumulated since beginningless time. Let us try to generate, to give rise to a healthy sense of regret, recognizing that in the past I have engaged in harmful actions such as killing, stealing, lying, using harsh words, divisive speech and so on and so forth. And when I'm saying healthy sense of regret, it's the opposite of guilt that, doesn't really serve any purpose. Healthy sense of regret is recognizing in the past I have done these things. In the future, I don't want to experience the karmic consequences. I don't want to experience the results, the suffering results of these actions. Therefore, I will also try my best in the future to refrain from engaging in such actions. The fourth limb, I rejoice in the virtues of both ordinary and noble beings. When we were doing any such practice with Lama Zopa Rinpoche, which, they all contain these 7 limbs, Rinpoche would always stop there, would not stop for the 7, but for sure always stopping at the limb of rejoicing. Because it is said that just, taking 1 second to rejoice in the good deeds of others, the good actions of others, has the potential to accumulate so much, positive potential in our minds for transformation. So much merit can be accumulated very, very easily. We can think, for example, of all the deeds of Buddha Shakyamuni, all the actions of Buddha Shakyamuni that benefited countless beings and are still benefiting countless beings to this day. We can think of all the holy actions of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for example. Tirelessly, working day and night for the benefit of others. So many projects around the world, and even now, today, 90 years old, meeting hundreds of people every single day who want to meet him, participating in all sorts of events to benefit others, ceremonies, still giving teachings. We can think of the actions of our other lamas, teachers, who are dedicating their lives, their time to helping others. We can think of all the monastic community, incredible monks and nuns, who live in celibacy to dedicate every moment of their life to study, contemplation, meditation, offering service, practice, helping others, and so on and so forth. You can rejoice in the merits of those who are, engaging in retreats, meditative retreats, those who are offering service in the monasteries and so forth. You can also think of all the good actions of our family members, our friends. And we can even take a moment to rejoice in our own good actions. And then let us move on to the 5th and 6th limbs. As our guide, I request you, O Buddha, to please abide well and turn the wheel of Dharma until samsara ends. So here we can, visualize our teacher, for example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, visualizing that we are offering him beautiful thrones, that are adorned with double vajras, symbolizing immortality, indestructibility, requesting our teacher to stay long, to continue to teach us, to continue to guide us, to continue to benefit us, to live a long and healthy lives for us. And presenting him also beautiful dharma chakras, dharma wheels, requesting him to teach, requesting him to guide us. Because it is by teaching the truth, of emptiness, the truth of suchness, or the truth of the absence of intrinsic existence, that the Buddhas can actually benefit us. It is not like they cannot, take our negative karmas away from us. They cannot remove, our disturbing emotions, anger, anxiety, attachment, pride, jealousy. They cannot take these away from us. Otherwise, they would have already have done that, It was up to us to purify our minds. And by listening to the Buddha's teachings, by understanding the nature of reality, we can gradually remove all these disturbing emotions. Then let us read the 7th limb. All virtues, both my own and those of others, I dedicate to the ripening of the two bodhicittas and the attainment of Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So, doing these limbs, if meditated on properly, so much purification happens and so much accumulation of merit. And it is said that just one single moment of anger is so powerful that it has one single moment of anger can destroy eons of spending time accumulating merit. Just one single moment of anger. The way a moment is described is this sound. A 65th of that is one moment. So just a 65th moment of anger has a power to eradicate eons of virtues. But when we dedicate our virtues properly towards our goal of liberating all sentient beings, of becoming a Buddha in order to guide them, then it is as if we are, saving that merit into the bank. Just as if we, if we are walking in the market here and there is a robber and we have, 10,000 rupees in our pocket, the thief can easily take this from our pocket, but if before going to the market we went to the bank and deposited those 10,000 rupees, then the robber has nothing to take from us. Similarly, when we dedicate our virtues, our merits properly, towards full awakening, towards Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings, then anger cannot that easily destroy those. Let us turn to page 9. Making a request to our teacher, who is now taking the aspect of Guru Medicine Buddha. I beseech you, Bhagavan Medicine Guru, whose sky-colored holy body of lapis lazuli signifies omniscient wisdom and compassion, as vast as limitless space, please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your right hand the King of Medicines, symbolizing your vow to help all pitiful sentient beings, plagued by the 424 diseases, please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your left hand a bowl of nectar, symbolizing your vow to give the glorious undying nectar of the Dharma that eliminates the generations of sickness, old age, and death. Please grant me your blessings. Then we'll turn to the simplified visualization, which is on page 14. So, one of the practices that was recommended for Sharipema, our dear Tenzin Rangdrola, who's, going through stage 4 cancer at 37 years old, was to recite this Medicine Buddha mantra. So we'll, spend a little bit of time reciting the mantra, trying as best as we can to maintain the visualization above the crown of our head of, Medicine Buddha. About 6 inches tall, his body made of beautiful radiant blue light. Sitting on a moon disk that is in the center of a beautiful lotus flower. And while maintaining this visualization, let us recite 7 times at the top of page 14. And then we'll also recite the mantra. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May you vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May I vow to benefit all sentient beings, no weapon for myself and others. Then, as we will be reciting the mantra of Medicine Buddha, let us visualize that purifying rays of light pour down from Guru Medicine Buddha's heart and holy body, entering the crown of our head, filling our entire body, thereby eliminating all sicknesses, afflictions, spirit harm, negative karmas, and all mental obscurations, mental veils. As we recite the mantra, let us visualize this nectar purifying absolutely everything, all the causes, all the suffering and all the causes of our sufferings, the karmas, the disturbing emotions. And let us imagine that our body is completely filled with light and becomes clean, clear like crystal. Then the rays of light radiate in all directions, purifying the sicknesses and afflictions of all mother sentient beings. And in particular, we can keep to mind our dear Tenzin Rangdrola, Sharipema, and all the people we know who are going through sickness, old age, recently passed away, people who are going through difficulties, obstacles, and so forth. And for the mantra, we can go back to page 13. We'll recite the middle mantra once together, and then the short mantra also once together, and then we can keep on reciting it at our own pace. For maybe we'll do that for about 10 minutes, trying to sustain the visualization as best as we can. Medicine Buddha above the crown of our head. From his heart, this light enters our body, purifying any kind of suffering and all the causes, the karmas, the disturbing emotions. And these rays also going in all directions, purifying the suffering, the karmas, and disturbing emotions of all sentient beings. Om Namo Bhagavate Bekanse Guru Bedurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samya Sambuddhaya Deyada Om Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Deyada Om Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha. Yada Om Veganze Veganze Maha Veganze Raja Samurgare Swam. We can turn to page 14 again. Now visualizing that ourselves and all sentient beings, have been completely purified from any kind of suffering, disease, obstacle, problems, negative karmas, afflictions, disturbing emotions, as well as all the mental veils, obscurations. And visualizing that Guru Medicine Buddha melts into light and enters, that light enters again from the crown of your head and comes down to your heart and absorbs, dissolves into your heart. And imagine for a moment that your mind becomes completely one with the Dharmakaya, the essence of all the Buddhas. Imagine for a moment what it would be to have the mind of a Buddha. Encompassing all sentient beings, as well as seeing conventionalities and ultimate truth simultaneously. Having perfect love for all beings. Knowing perfectly how to guide them. Being fully awakened, omniscient. Then let us dedicate the merits of having done this practice and recited the mantra. We can read together at the bottom of page 14. Due to these merits, may I complete the ocean-like actions of the sons of the victorious ones. May I complete the Holy Savior, refuge and helper for sentient beings, who have repeatedly been so kind to me in past lives. By the virtues received from attempting this practice, may all living beings who see, hear, touch, or remember me, even those who merely say my name, in that very moment be released from their miseries and experience happiness forever. As all sentient beings, infinite as space, are encompassed by Guru Medicine Buddha's compassion, may I too become the guide for sentient beings existing throughout all 10 directions of the universe. Because of these virtues, may I quickly become Guru Medicine Buddha and lead each and every sentient being into his enlightened realm. Then we can turn to the long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I will share it on the screen as well. Requesting His Holiness to live long and healthy, to continue to guide us, to inspire the world, especially in these strange times, inspiring the world leaders to, be compassionate and wise, guiding all the humans of this planet to purify their minds, their karmas, the disturbing emotions, developing the heart and seeing reality as it is. May His Holiness continue to guide us in that way for a very, very long time. So we can read together in the bold characters in English. incomparably kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Let us also dedicate that virtuous minds that we have already developed of bodhicitta and the wisdom realizing emptiness. May these never decline, and may we develop our compassion, our bodhicitta, our wisdom forevermore. Let us also dedicate that due to the merits we have accumulated here, may the wars that are happening around the world immediately come to an end. May there be no new war. May there be no famine. May there be no epidemic. May there be no financial crisis. May there be no disasters of the elements, natural catastrophes. And may peace and happiness prevail in everybody's hearts and lives. Thank you everyone for joining. And we'll see you tomorrow online for our weekly debate class at 6:30 p.m. and every morning, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. for our guided meditation. And on Saturday, we'll also see you here at 6:30 p.m. We have Venerable Thupten Kalden, who is visiting us just for a few hours in transit in Delhi, and who has so kindly agreed to give us a talk. Venerable Kalden is a Brazilian monk who was very, very close to Lama Zopa Rinpoche, a very inspiring monk, and he has agreed to, give us a talk on giving us practical tips, for our everyday life. So this is Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Then next Monday, Ajiji will continue, the explanations, guiding us on the 9 stages of shamatha, the 9 stages of calm abiding meditation. Monday, 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, we'll do Vajrasattva next week. And then following week is Diwali, but on the Tuesday, Diwali is celebrated Monday, right? Well, it depends on the moon, I guess, but this year is a Monday, right?
Yeah, but there will be some more Diwali.
So let's see who comes on the Tuesday, because we have another visiting monk then, Venerable Karmatsundru, on the 21st, that's a Tuesday evening. And then the following week will be Kabirji will continue teaching on the Lalita Vistara Sutra, Monday, Tuesday, 27, 28 October. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.